The more proper English.
It's tomato, not tomato. Okay?
Exactly. That took us a long time to get past. Previously under the name Red Route. Red Route.
Red Route. Yeah. Just to show this, guys. Look. We're kind of like, yeah, we're going to move you there. We don't want you to get wet, please. Sorry, viewer, I didn't want to get wet behind the ears there. Hello and welcome back to the final episode of season 1 of Taxi Talk. I'm joined by Jodie.
Hello.
And today's episode is another special. So in the last couple of weeks, we've been to Serbia to a call centre. You've been out racing cars, all the taxi.
It's been brilliant, yeah.
Just say BYD to her and her eyes flush her up. Okay? And the last couple of weeks, I've been out in a driverless car in San Francisco. Now, whilst I was out in San Francisco, I bumped into Will, who works for a company called Flip. Now, for those that don't know, Flip is our automated answering telephone service that many taxi companies have. It's so it's a bit more advanced than IVR, so there's actually somebody listening to you on the phone that can respond and make a booking. This technology is evolving all the time, isn't it?
It's so clever. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, there's still a need for a human operator.
Always.
But if you're in a rush and don't want to book by the app, have something a little bit more complicated, then people would use Flip. So I saw it as a great chance to catch up with Will to find out what Flip's doing out there in San Francisco and also to find out his true or false story. So let's go meet Will now. So we're just at a bar and I bumped into another Will from Flip.
Flip from America.
How do I know you're from Flip dressed like that? Hey?
I don't know. It's not obvious. I took out all the logos. I almost put on the socks today, not the underwear.
Yeah, I can vouch he's not wearing the underwear for Flip. He's wearing nothing under this. You can't see because of the desk in front of us. So, Will, we're here in San Francisco. Thank you very much for your hospitality over the last few days. We've been filming a podcast, as you know, for Waymo.
Yeah.
It's just been mind-blowing how these legacy taxi companies that you supply with Flip technology are still surviving and thriving.
And thriving. So, like, what? We've talked to Flywheel Taxi. They have no more medallions available. We talked to San Francisco, right there, thriving with 600 vehicles. But I really liked what Chris had to say. It's like, they're just not scared, not focusing on the past, making movements towards like what's next. How do they adapt to what's next?
What technology is available, and this is where companies like Flip come along, isn't it? You know, to help the fleets adapt to the 21st century and move forward with the latest trends. Which brings me to my first question. Some of you will not have a clue what Will does. So briefly, what is Flip?
Yeah, so Flip exists to create optimizations and efficiencies within your call centers. How do we do that? We do that using the latest tech, AI, as everybody loves to hear about, large language models, natural language understanding. These are all trigger words in the industry to automate, a majority of your phone calls, and that helps you, really helps you with your staffing. Helps you make sure that every single phone call is picked up on the first ring.
So no missed calls at all?
Never missed call.
No one could complain, I couldn't get through to book a taxi.
Yeah. We used to always say, it's like, imagine New Year's Eve. You're never going to be able to staff for New Year's Eve and the demand that you get and you're going to be paying time and a half. So how can we make sure that we meet every caller's like first ring responsibility to pick up, and that's the first great win.
So as an operator or as a driver, there's a few of us who've got an operation going. I don't actually have to worry about if Mohammed's fallen ill that night or Sharon, she can't come in to answer the phone. The Flip system will pick it up with AI and
so we often see that so every operator loves to say that one person can answer 60 calls an hour. Right? They're like, oh yeah, my call center staff answers 60 calls an hour, 1 per minute. In reality, you look over an 8-hour shift, a 40-hour work week. So you see that these people, on average, smoke breaks, lunch break, all the problems that they have to deal with management, therapists as an owner, to all your employees. So they're only answering 20 calls max per hour, and so losing one person is detrimental up to 20 calls. But with Flip, we can answer a million calls.
Anything's possible
every
isn't it?
minute. Yep.
So is Flip just available in the UK, the US? Where is it available anywhere that speaks English, or does it go beyond the language barrier?
Yeah. So in 2017, Flip started here in the US, and came over to speak that other English, the more proper English.
It's tomato, not tomato. Okay.
Exactly. That took us a long time to get past.
It's an elevator, or is it a lift? Is it a sidewalk? Is it a path?
So these are the troubles that we always get is idioms and colloquialisms. But we came to the UK. Obviously, has a huge diversity of accents. And we are most recently, we're beta testing in multiple other languages to work on adapting to the European market.
Oh, right. So if somebody that doesn't speak English that well starts speaking in the native language, then the system will pick it up straight away.
So we're super excited about that because you now, I don't think that any fleets in the UK have multilingual support. Obviously, the native language of the call taker, if you're using outside, they can maybe
we could probably find somebody on our team that speaks Spanish, Romanian, or Punjabi.
Yeah.
But as a rule, it's not accessible to everyone.
Exactly.
So-
And accessibility is a huge term. Like in the US, everybody wants everything to be accessible.
Mhm.
So imagine the differentiator you could have with being able to provide 14 different languages that to your customer base to be able to converse and book taxis with. It's something
That's
super
amazing.
cool.
So it's a win-win for the customer.
Yeah.
Win-win for the taxi company
Yeah.
because they're not missing calls and now able to take multilingual bookings, which is coming soon.
Yep.
I was going to say, do you have any great testimonials of where Flip has helped taxi companies in terms of getting staffing costs down and bookings on the increase?
So 2017 when Flip started, previously under the name Red Route. Red Route.
Red Route. Yeah.
I operated a large fleet, and we merged a bunch of fleets into one call center. We had like 140 call takers. Found Flip and the co-founders, and I said, "We need this. I want it now." 2 weeks later, it was implemented, and 2 months later, we were able to move our brick and mortar, end our brick and mortar call center, as well as reducing our FTEs by like 60%.
Wow.
And we actually got them in to be employee drivers afterwards. Employee drivers, or they had the disability contract driver if they wanted.
So where do you see Flip will go in the future? Now AI is playing a big part. We've got all these note takers coming into our meetings. Do you think in the future there'll be an avatar version of myself answering calls and going into Zoom meetings powered by Flip and winning sales and meetings because I've given it that agenda?
Yeah.
Where does the sky end? Where is the limit?
So the limits are endless.
Yeah.
And what some of the things that we love, people come up and say, why can't you just be like ChatGPT? Things you don't notice with ChatGPT. We've got a bartender making drinks over beside us, but yeah. So the limitations of that are latency. Like you wait for ChatGPT to load. These are really big, like large language models that we don't need. If somebody calls Take Me, they're calling to book a ride.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's about 10 different intents, right? You have the people that are calling to complain. You have the people that are calling to get a receipt. So how do we chug away? We start with the biggest chunk. What's going to make the biggest impact on your operations? And we take those and automate those calls and augment your human call takers. we don't believe that we can do everything right now, but we want to take the majority of it away.
Yeah, so you're going to take those models that work best, what customer needs are.
Yep.
Where's my cab? I've lost my wallet in the cab. Those sort of conversations.
Exactly.
I booked something, I can't remember what time I booked it. All those conversations. What's the biggest hurdle you guys have in getting your technology into fleets? Is it normally a lack of understanding from the fleet owner? Or?
Yeah. So there's a couple different things. So first one, right, we're human beings. We form habits. So any change, right? We offer a free trial period because we know there's an adaptation period. Think about your drivers when you change a dispatch management system. It may be better, you know it's better, but they do not like change. The same reflects on the customers. So if you've been having the same welcome message for 15 years, which these fleets literally don't change their welcome message for 15 years, and then they have a press 1, press 2 for their most used addresses, and you change that up and you instead answer and say, hey, where would you like to be picked up? It blows their mind.
Yeah.
So it takes a week, 2 weeks for them to get used to it. And those periods of transition are hard for fleets.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm losing business.
Because they're worried about the old lady that may be a bit adverse to technology, ringing up Mrs. Biggins, rings up religiously every Tuesday. She has a taxi going to pay bridge. Thursday, she has a taxi to go to a haircut. She knows the operator, Sharon or Mohammed. She knows them intimately. They send her a Christmas card, and they're worried they're going to lose that the system's going to suck up that lady and she disappears forever.
That's why, making sure that we onboard somebody correctly, like provide us that information in advance. If depending on the dispatch management system, we already know that Miss Susie is she doesn't get IVR or an AI agent. Now the next thing that's kind of the big in implementation is really just why do I need this? Right? The fleets say, why do I need this? Well, we help explain to them their numbers. This is how many missed calls you've had. This is your no-show rate because they couldn't edit a booking. Right? So we're the only system I know of that allows you to edit a pickup time.
You to get it right the next time.
And so what are those lost opportunity costs? And then also what's the cost per call that you're paying right now? Everybody loves to say, I've got a call center, I'm paying £3 an hour per agent. And so again, they go back to they're answering 60 calls. So what is that? Like whatever, 3 cents or so 60 calls, that's about 1.5 cents per call that they believe that they're paying. If my math is right, I think I may be off there.
We'll get the editor to quickly do a sum on there. See if that all added up. Do the math or the maths. So
we see the cost per call, even at those rates, they're paying 65 cents to a pound per call to meet a service level that's reasonable.
Yeah. Because what a lot of operators don't realise is the cost per booking for every booking. And to work that formula out is, what did it cost you to obtain the customer for advertising, marketing? Which route did they come in? Did they come in through the app? What was the R&D cost of that? What is the cost of the app? If you've got staff answer the call, the minimum wage. Even if you have a shop front, every booking has a cost. And the idea of an operator is to get that cost down as low as possible. So it might sound a lot, a dollar or pennies per booking, but it's the saving because you've already had a cost to get the customer in the first place. So
we really work through those numbers and help do an analysis and try to say, because people just don't have time to do this.
Yeah, so I'm just looking behind the camera, just making sure we've got a load of water going.
So they've got a big fog in San Francisco. It's called Carl, right?
Carl the fog. I'm just saying to show this, guys. Look, we're kind of like, yeah, we're going to move you there. We don't want you to get wet, please. Sorry, viewer, I didn't want to get wet behind the ears there. So, Now, obviously, we're going through automation at the moment. Most taxi companies are apps and web bookers, and who knows what's around the corner in the future, probably holographic booking. Is there going to be a need in the short term and long term for telephones bringing in bookings into a taxi office?
Oh yeah, I think so. For right now, we need to. So, how do we want to get better at making sure that your your really high end VIP customers are getting the experience that they want. Some of them may love automation, right? These are your customers who are spending like a couple $100 a week on transportation with you. We want to make sure that they have the experience that they want. Maybe they only like automation. Maybe they only like talking to one of your call takers. So let's get them to that call taker.
Yeah. Let's give them all the options, because one of the things I'm noticing with ChatGPT and voice notes on WhatsApp is people are moving away from typing to voice again. Obviously, we had Amazon's Alexa 10 years ago, Siri, but the technology is now like having a conversation. So could it be that Flip could develop something for an app where it's a bit complicated, can't put in a buyer, I'll talk to the app, and then there's an automated voice, and then the booking comes in that, or through WhatsApp messaging, Facebook, everything, where you could take a voice note.
Yeah, so it's really it's so wild. So the user interface that we're most common to, right? We're used to graphical user interface.
Yeah.
This is what typing on a computer, like we're used to interacting that way. And I think the next round, and OpenAI, they've spoken about this, is how do we change away from what's slow and old in terms of user interfaces, customer interfaces, and really voice is a great option.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's how humans communicate best, most efficiently. So I don't think that voice will go anywhere, and I think exactly what you're getting at is like, why do I need to go type an address into where I'm going?
Where I can just go, hey, take me booking app. And I go, hi, David, do you want picking up from your usual bar?
Yeah.
How does it know?
I know. Love you.
And where are you going to? Do you want to go back for an argument with a wife, or do you want to go on to a club? That sort of thing.
How can we be predictive?
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
That's definitely. So if you could, if you're in charge of R&D for Flip, and you could develop one product that you think it's missing, what would that product be?
Well, everything in our pipeline.
Everything in your pipeline.
Everything in our pipeline.
A long pipeline.
So right now I really like payments over the phone. So these are not necessarily. So we've piloted this out. It's not necessarily adding new cards to an account. Adding read off your 16-digit card number. It's taking, does David have a card on file that he used to book a web booking on a website last week? And then now he's choosing to call in. Or does he have it on his app? How does this ecosystem really match so that we get the credit card deals and we can verify and say, hey, David, do you want to get picked up at, I see it's, 8 in the morning, you want to get picked up at home and go to, work. And then we'll then say, great, we see you have a card on file. Do you want to apply this card to this booking? Boom, I'm done. David gets to get in a car, hop out, still have a phone interaction, a voice interaction, not have to pull out an app.
So it's almost like predictive behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I suppose on our phones, we live our lives by the phone. So it could almost, in the future, pick up the fact that I'm going to a party at the weekend, so I've discussed it on Facebook or a Messenger app.
Exactly.
So it's preempting I'm going to need a cab, and then sends me that reminder.
That predictive, we want to know David is such an exciting. We want to know David. We want to know his habits.
We want to know David better than David knows David.
We want to make his life easy, and we want to make this real quick. I think will be. It's a thing in the future, and of course we have to deal with compliance, GDPR compliance, and all these things to make sure that it fits. But
actually the tech's there now, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all the
tech
compliance
is
and
there,
everything.
compliance.
It's all the box ticking you have to do to get there. Well, it's been fascinating talking to you. Now, before you go, I haven't prepped him at all. So we play a game called True or False. Okay. The idea of the game is you tell a story. Okay. It could be made up, and you might want some time to think about that. We could always press stop on here. But I've got a feeling you'll come up with a story, and then I have to guess, and the viewers have to guess, is that true or false?
Gotcha.
Okay. You got something in mind? We're going to play the credits now. By the time you come back, he'll have a story. Okay, so John is back now for True or False. I'm with Will on the Titanic. Got that sinking feeling.
Not yet.
Not yet. No. Okay, so we're on a boat cruise. We're just seeing the Golden Gate Bridge behind us there, albeit a little bit misty, but we did manage to just see part of it, as you can see now by the footage we're showing you. Amazing. But anyway, Will, it's true or false. Give me the story and we'll decide whether that is true or false.
Well, all right. So, true or false? I spent some time in Istanbul, and I met a couple great rug salesmen, as you do when walking around.
Yeah.
As you do when you walk around Istanbul. Became good friends who hatched a plan with me that tourists could bring back rugs, traditional rugs, to the States, and avoid an import tax that was traditional to like wholesalers. So we did a little experiment, and I decided to mule over at least $10,000 worth of Turkish rugs to the United States to get a little bit of a pocket lining to pay for my vacation there. So, true or false?
Well, true. Your tax dodging rug story, bring them back to New York to flip them over. Is it true? You know what? You're quite the entrepreneur. You can see how to make money. So, were you drunk at the time?
I was fairly inebriated.
In that case, I think the story's true.
I guess I'm going to go with everybody on this true or false game show. And yes, it is true.
It is true.
We only tell the truth.
Yeah, it's not easy to do a made-up story when you've got a fab story like that. Well, I'd shake your hands.
Yep.
Be holding the microphone. There we go.
Thank you, David.
Thanks so much for being part of the Taxi Talk. Right, I'd love to stay here in the States and learn some more, but unfortunately my visa's running out, and before Trump kicks me out, I'm going to make my own way out voluntarily. So see you next time.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Will. Well, what a great series it's been, Jodie.
Yeah, it has been brilliant, hasn't it?
What's been the highlights for you?
Where do I start?
One of my favourite moments is Jodie sucking on a melon, and I think we have that clip here. There you go. There's Jodie.
This is what happens when Prosecco is introduced to
Yeah, unfortunately we're recording today. Look, full glass, full bottle, empty glass.
I've not touched it yet.
But
And there's no melon either.
No melon.
No.
It's pretty dull, to be honest, but we're saving it all for season 2, which starts in about 2 weeks' time. Next week we have our highlight episode, and then we're back into it with Tom Pugh with episode 1 of season 2. So
excellent.
So just want to thank you, the driver, the audience, for watching. I think we've had over 50,000 views of our episodes for the last. It's been great.
Been very popular, hasn't it?
And it's been amazing to have some of the great guests we've had on here who've, to be honest, been great sports, haven't they?
All of them have, to be fair. Even the ones that we thought would be quite boring have been quite amazing.
Anyone in particular?
No, I won't mention any names.
Insurance. Yeah. That's one of my favourite episodes. But yeah, we've had a ball. So please do join us in a couple of weeks' time for season 2. And next week is the highlight video where you can see some of the outtakes from this very set.
Oh my God.
Jodie does more things with a melon that you won't even think possible. But we'll catch you next week on that episode.
Bye.
Situations you may find yourself in that David and all of us may have some experience with, and we'll be talking about some of the situations. Juicy melons. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Said, well, yes, actually, I'd like to do that.
Oh shit, I thought that was on video.
Bloody hell no. Drivers are drivers.
Who are you? Big reveal, shall we? Oh, what are we doing?